Howdy friends. Today I want to welcome y'all to the first episode of Lesser Known Treasure Stories. Today we're going to have a look at the last stage robbery in the United States of America. So grab yourself a frosty beverage, kick your feet up, and let's try and figure out just what happened to the loot that was on that stage. The year's 1916, and Europe is being torn apart by World War I. Down on the southern border, Pancho Villa is just raising all kind of cane. And in Jarbidge, Nevada, on December 5th, well, it's payday. And back then, Jarbidge was the most isolated town in all of America. And today, it's still the most isolated town in the lower 48. The only way in and out of town was on one of the supply wagons or on horseback. The stage, which came into town 3 times a week and once a month with the payroll, was not really a passenger stage. Now I know what you're thinking when I say stagecoach. Well, it wasn't one of these overlands like you see in the John Wayne movies. No, this was a totally different beast. It was a small little mail coach, kind of like you see here. There's no original pictures of the actual stage, but it's thought to look a lot like this. Well, it's getting long in the afternoon on payday, and all the men are gathered over in the saloon, and they're starting to get a little grumpy because their payday hasn't arrived yet, and it's getting a little late. So a couple of the mine owners make their way over to the post office to see if the postmaster had heard anything. Well, he said, well, man, he's starting to get a little worried because it was long overdue. Well, one of the mine owners decides he's going to jump on his horse and he's going to ride up through the canyon. He's going to make his way up to the stage stop up on top of Rattlesnake Ridge. Well, he heads on out of town up there, and by the time he gets back, it's full-on blizzard, and it's dark, and it's getting late. And he tells the postmaster that apparently the stage had made it through the stage stop on time, and it should have been in town a long time ago. Well, you can imagine, this got everybody a little riled up. Bunch of the men, they wanted to rush on out and head on up the canyon and go look for the stage, see if it had gone off the road or something. But more sober minds prevailed, and they decided, whoa, wait a minute. If we run off into this blizzard in the dark, this is a pretty dumb idea. Ain't nobody gonna make it back from this. So they decide, all right, we'll just take our time, think about this a second. So the postmaster dials up the lady that's the town operator, and he calls her on the phone. He winds it up for you and says, hey, Miss Dexter, old Widow Dexter, have you seen stage go by, or have you heard anything about the stage? She says, well, heck, it passed here a long time ago. Well, Widow Dexter lived like a half a mile out of town. So this cut down their search area by a considerable amount, like 30 miles or so. So they said, okay, gather up your lantern, let's go have a look. They walked themselves all the way out to Miss Dexter's place. They saw nothing, no sign of it. She said, yeah, it went by here. So they went back, and they were searching the whole way, and they had their little coal miner lantern hats on with their little friggin' lanterns on them. And one of them noticed that when they crossed the bridge, you could see just the faintest tracks in the snow that were almost completely covered up. So they made their way out there, and sure enough, there's the stage parked in a grove of trees. And there, slumped over the friggin' thing, whatever, laying there, is the driver. Nice friggin' bullet hole right in the side of his head. Well, at this point, it's dark. Not a lot they can do. They can't find anything. Snow's deep. It's horrible. So they drag the body on back into town, and then they comes back out first thing daylight. Well, they're looking all over trying to find clues. Can't find the mail pouches, can't find the payroll. They know something's up. Anyways, they is coming back up to the road, and the one feller looks under the bridge, and well, underneath the bridge they found a long black coat and one of the mail pouches, which had been sliced open, and mail scattered around, bloody mail, bloody envelopes and stuff. And yeah, that's all they could find. So they bring it back into town. Well, it turns out that one of the guys, they recognized that coat had belonged to a fella named Ben Kuhl. Well, Ben Kuhl had a tent in town, so they went and they searched the tent, and sure enough, inside his laundry, stuffed in there amongst his nice clean white laundry shirts, was a bloody .44 pistol. Well, that was enough reason for them to arrest Ben Kuhl, Ed Becker, and William McGraw. They all shared one tent. Off to jail they went. Well, when the weather cleared up enough and the roads were getting travelable, they drug the three men on down here to Elko, right down there, about 19 miles from where I sit right now. And, well, they said, "You're all going on trial for murder." Well, this scares the heck out of William. He decides he's going to turn state's evidence against the other two. So he rats on Ben and Ed, and he gets off light. He gives himself 7 months in the county jail. That's it. He gets out. He hit the road. He ain't never coming back. Ed, well, he was sent to Nevada State Prison, where he was finally paroled in 1923. Ben, on the other hand, well, he gets himself the death sentence because he's the one who pulled the trigger. And they gave him a choice. They said, you can hang or you can face the firing squad. Well, he says, I'll take the rifle, please. I don't want to be hanging there going, ah, ah, ah. So he chooses the firing squad. But I guess he had himself a halfway decent lawyer, because on appeal he got it overturned, and he got himself a life sentence in Nevada State Prison, where he raised chickens until 1945, when he was released because he had the tuberculosis. So they let him out because he had the lung thing, and he made himself over into California, and he lasted a couple of months, and he died from tuberculosis, and that was the end of him. So none of these three men ever made it back out, and they never said what happened to the payroll. They were tight-lipped about that. So that payroll's still out there just waiting for somebody to find it. I know you're wanting to know, well, how much was it? What was it? What was it, Reed? Well, the payroll in total was supposed to be approximately $4,000. Some say it was a little more, but you never know. I mean, all the records are kind of iffy from back then. It was all destroyed, and the courthouse burned down a long time ago. They had a fire in the records office. They're all gone. But the reports say it was $4,000. Most of the credible reports say it was $4,000, with half, maybe a little bit more than half of them, half that money being $20 gold pieces. Freshly minted double eagles, my friend. So before you run off, go up there in the freaking mountains, go looking for that treasure. Let me just tell you, don't even think about going up there in the wintertime. Because like I said, it's still the most isolated town in the lower 48. There ain't a paved road within 20 miles of that town. Anyways, glad y'all stuck around, listen to the story. If you want to hear a lesser known treasure story from your area, get on down there in the comments. Tell me where you're at, because that's where I'm going to be picking these stories from. Thanks a lot. Have fun. Stay safe. Keep looking for treasure. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.